Yeah, so what is React?
React?
Yeah, React. So React is what? React, we are starting full stack development from today. Okay, so what is React? React is basically a library for JavaScript. So up until now we have talked about frameworks. Okay, and what are frameworks? Frameworks are basically pieces of code that are already structured. We just have to integrate that in our website. Okay, for the library it's like you have independence when it comes to libraries. In frameworks you have to follow rules and regulation when you are working with them, whereas in libraries what you do is, so basically you do what you are doing, okay, just as you were doing, however you were coding, and whenever you need the library you just call it. Whenever you need the functionalities from it, you just call it. So that's the difference between libraries and framework. You have independence in libraries, whereas you have to follow rules and regulations in frameworks. So the library we are going to be discussing from now onwards is called React, and this is one of the most famous and one of the most used technologies in website. Let me show you, for example, this WhatsApp. Yeah, this WhatsApp is being built in React. Okay, this DeepSeek is being built in React, and this one I'm currently making, it's also built in React. This one I'm using is built in React. This Grok is built in React. Like, you can name whatever you want. The latest, the most latest technologies are built in these technologies, and this is the one of the most used technologies in this era. So let us start with React. So we know the definition of React. What is React? React is just a library of JavaScript. Okay, so this is the book definition of React. So what does React do? So basically what React does is it basically mixes your HTML and JavaScript together. That's what React is. Let me show you the code of React. For example, let's say, yeah, this one. So currently I'm working on a website. So what do you see here? We have divs, we have classes, and we have h1s and p. And where are these coming from? Like, which languages support these things? Divs, h1 and p, which languages supports them? Like, where are they coming
Div and
from?
H1?
Yeah, where does h1 comes from? Like, which language?
It comes from HTML.
HTML, exactly. And what about this is a function, and where does functions come from?
Functions comes from
Yeah,
uh,
which language?
JavaScript.
JavaScript, exactly.
JavaScript.
So what are we doing here is we are mixing JavaScript and HTML together, and when you do that you get what? You get React. So this is what React is. Okay,
So all the websites that we use, it's mixing them.
it's mixing them, yeah. So no, up until this point what we did is React, JavaScript was separate and HTML was separate. Now what are we
Okay.
doing? We are mixing both of them and we are getting what? We are getting React. This is what Reacts do. It mixes
Okay.
HTML and JavaScript. Basically what it's going to do is, the things you are doing in JavaScript that is taking you, let's say, 50 lines, React is going to compile it, compress it down to 5 lines. That's what it's going to do. Okay, so who created React? Where does it come from? So basically Facebook created React in 2011, and it still is one of the top libraries, one of the top JavaScript libraries you have in the market. Okay, and it has like a lot of job opportunities, especially where you guys are living. Okay, so let us formally begin React. So do you guys get the basic concept of React? Like, what is React?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah. From now on, you guys are always going to create your websites using React. Okay,
Hmm.
for the day or two it might look a little difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it'll be easy. It'll be like one of the most, in fact, this is one of my most favorite things in web development, this React. So let us start. This is also React. Oh, one more thing. If you guys were to do web development in React, you guys can consider yourself around 80 to 90% of mobile developers as well, because once you
I have a
master.
question.
Yeah, yeah,
So when we use React to make our website, so does that make our website quicker and easier to make?
exactly. Plus it makes your website faster, it makes your website more optimized, and it makes your websites more expensive. So basically,
Oh,
if you were to create a website in React, it would cost like 10
yeah.
folds more than if you were creating it in simple JavaScript. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you guys going to do? First of all, you need to install React on your PC, on your computers. Okay, so these are the steps I need you to pay close attention. So the first thing you guys need to do is you need to download Node.js. Okay, what is Node.js? Node.js is also JavaScript, but it works on the back end. Okay, so from now on, everything is about JavaScript. So Node.js, click on this one and just click on, where is it, yeah, get node. So click on this get node. Node is going to be downloaded into your PC, and after downloading you need to click on that. Wait, let me do it. So if you were to click on it, you would, where's the install option, yeah, so you need to download this one, window installer.msr. Click on it, and after downloading, uh, yeah, after downloading you have to install it. How do you do it? Just click on it. Okay, click on it, and after clicking on it, you just have to press next, whatever it's saying, just click next. Okay, so after downloading and installing it on your PC, you need to verify whether it's installed or not. And how are you going to do it? You have to open command line. And how do we open command line?
Window plus R,
Window plus R, and then
CMD.
CMD. Now after opening the CMD, the command line, you need to write here node space dash v, and here you go. If you get this version, dash v means versions, if you get this version, it doesn't have to be like 22, you guys might have 24 because I'm using the old version, but it doesn't matter. If you get anything like any output after using this command, it means that node is successfully installed in your computer. Okay, you need to verify this. Okay, so after this you need to run the command that I'm going to run only one time in your PC. Okay, the command I am running at the moment, you need to run it only once in your PC. So what are you going to do? You're going to say npm. Npm stands for node package manager. So whenever you want to have packages installed like libraries, maybe you want to install loaders or sliders or something like that, whenever you want to install further packages in your website, you are going to use npm. Now what does npm stands for? Node package manager. It manages your packages. Okay, what are packages? Like the sliders, the images, and everything like that. So you're gonna say this command is only going to be run once. Okay, so npm I create dash Vite. Now what is this create Vite? Vite is a technology that is going to optimize your development process, compiling process, and overall processes. Like it's going to speed up everything for you. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is npm I create dash Vite. Before it, wait, the command is a bit incomplete. So npm I dash g dash g.
What does V do?
It basically makes your development process faster, compiling process faster. So basically when you create a website in JavaScript, in React, it basically compiles that website into an HTML code. So that process is going to be faster with Vite. Okay, so you have to run this command npm I dash g create Vite. Dash g is really important because dash g is going to tell the PC that I am globally installing create Vite, so I don't have to do it again. Okay, so press enter. This is the second step.
It would work for the whole computer?
Yeah, for the whole computer, you don't have to do it again. So you have to run it once in your PC and that's it. Okay, Now what are we going to do? We are going to create a project in React. And how do you create a project in React? First of all, let's say I want to create a project here, like on the desktop. So at the moment, which folder I am currently in? Which folder am I currently in? HP, yeah. So this last thing is going to tell you which folder you are currently in. So what I want to do is I want to shift from this HP into the desktop. How do I do it?
CD.
Very good. CD space, and what do I do next? What do we do next? Yeah, that's it. Simply press D and then press tab. If you keep on pressing tab, it's going to show you everything that starts with D. So is it this I want to go in?
No.
Is it this?
Yeah.
Yes. Press enter. Now which folder am I currently in? Desktop. Yeah, good. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create a project. And how do I create a project? Yeah, mkd and then ir make dir. That is make directory. And what is directory? What is a directory? Very good, a folder. So make dir space, and let's say I want to name it React start maybe. You don't have to put spaces, okay? You shouldn't put spaces, otherwise it's going to throw you an error. In fact, I think it's going to throw me, no, it's not going to. Make the React start. So now we would have a folder called make the React start. Now I want to go to this folder. I am currently in desktop. I want to go into the React start folder. How do I do it?
You would change it again.
Yeah, cd space and React start. Yeah. Okay, so let me press enter. Now I'm going to run a command, and this command is going to be run whenever you want to create a React project. Okay, if you want to create a new project, the command I'm going to write now, you have to write it again if you want to create a new project. And what is the command? Create dash Vite, the one we installed just moments before. So create dash Vite and space dot. What does dot represents? What does dot represents? We have did it in HTML as well.
Yeah, I remember we did this.
Sorry? What does dot represents? No. Dot represents something else. Do you remember how we linked our styles.css with our HTML? Using dot and then slash. What does dot refers to? No. Dot refers to the current folder, the current directory. Okay, so that means what I'm trying to say to this command line is create Vite. Okay, I'm calling the create Vite package, and I'm calling the dot would mean that I want to create the project of React in this current directory I am in, that is React start. So press enter. Okay, now it's going to ask me which framework or which library I am working on. So which library are we going to work in? Yeah, React. We have a lot of libraries in of JavaScript, but this one is the most popular. So React. And which variant are we working with? JavaScript. This one. And use roll down Vite experimental. So at the moment it's experimental, so we're not gonna say yes. So let's press no. Install with npm and start now. No. You have to press no on it because we want to do it manually. And yeah, that's it. So it created some folders, it created some files in this folder. So at the now it's saying done. Now run. Now what do we want to run now? npm and then install. So it's going to install all the packages that are necessary to run React on my PC. So I'm going to say npm space I also represents install, so we can say this as well. So yeah, that's it. So now it's downloading the files we need to run React. So it's gonna Yeah, for one time. Yeah, for one time. Okay, but if you want to create a new project, you have to repeat this process again. If you want to create a new project, so it's gonna take a minute, and then we can start again. And yeah, it's ready. So did you see how fast it was? It was all because of create Vite. Okay. So now I want to open this in VS Code. Okay. So how do I do it? How do I open this folder in VS Code? How do I open it? VS Code. Very good. Code space dot. Like open this folder with VS Code, and here you go. Now you are going to see some pre-built files, pre-loaded files when you press code dot. Now all of this is because of React. Okay, this is the packages that already come with React. You need all of these to run React. Okay, at the moment you just need to understand this, that all of these are going to be there when you create the React project. Okay, so now how do we run the React project? Go live is not going to work now. Go live only works with HTML and CSS code. That is a beginner level of thing. Now you can call yourselves one of the advanced programmers or developers. So this is not going to work now. So how do we run React projects? So first of all, you need to open the terminal, and you are not going to open this terminal. Okay, this is the global terminal. We want to open the VS Code's terminal, and how do we do it? You have to press Ctrl J. It's going to open this pre-built terminal of VS Code. Okay, so now we need to run a command in order to execute the React project, in order to run the React project. And what is that? It's npm run dev. This is going to spin up your dev server. This is going to spin up your React server so that you can see the output of React website. Okay, so let me press enter, and here you go. What is it saying? It's saying that Vite version 7.1.7 ready in 796 milliseconds, and it's running on where? This address. Okay, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to press Control and then click on this address, and I'm going to be shown this page. That's a starter template. That's a welcome template that Reacts provide us. Any questions about how to run the React project?
No.
Are you sure? Because I'm going to do it again. So
Okay, we can do it again.
yeah. So at the moment the server is running, and how do we close the server? I'll just press open the terminal. Okay, I'll open this terminal again, Control J, and then I'm going to press Control C. Control C is going to stop this server, kill this process. Now I want to see what React gives me as output. And how do we see the output of React? We don't use go live because it's not going to work. So what do we use? Wait, now what do we use, and how do we use it,
We use terminal
and how do we
control
open the
plus J.
terminal?
Control plus J.
Control plus J. And what do we write?
Write npm space run plus dev.
Dev. Yes, npm run dev, and it's going to start your server. Now you can do anything here. Even if you were to do here, it's not going to be executed because this terminal is responsible for running your server. So every other process is going to be executed in another terminal. You are not going to do anything in this terminal. So how do I click on this one? If I were to simply click, it's not going to work.
Control plus click.
Control plus click, and here you go. This is your starting template that React is providing you guys with. Any questions about how to create the project and how to start the React project? Now you guys have stepped in
Yeah.
one of the most advanced and one of the like really cool things when it comes to development. Okay, and especially web development. You can say React is like a cool kid in web development. Okay,
Uh,
so now let's talk about the folder structure we have here. Okay, you need to know every bit of this file. Okay, so first of all we have this folder that's called node modules or node modules or whatever, however you want to refer it, node modules. So inside this node modules, if you were to open it, we have a lot of folders and files, and if you were to open these folders, it's going to have more folders and files. Like, it's hell lot of stuff here. Okay, so you just need to know that these node modules are responsible to run React. Like, these are the things that are responsible for running the React. Like, they contain all the packages necessary to run the React. Okay, this is what node modules is. Okay, next we have the second folder as public. And what is public folders for? What does public mean?
it's for everyone to view.
Exactly. If you want to access anything from anywhere, you are going to put that thing inside the public folder. That's what it's for. Okay, now comes the main player, this src. SRC is responsible for running the React. Like, all the code you are going to do, like every bit of code you're going to do, it's going to be inside this SRC folder, source folder. So this is responsible for the React. Like, all the React things, all the React work is going to be inside this SRC folder. Now this SRC folder has some already common things we know about, and it has some new stuff as well. So what do you see familiar in this folder? Like, what's familiar in this folder? Do you see something familiar in this folder or not?
CSS.
CSS, exactly. We have CSS, and if I were to open it, you would see the same things like we did. It's the same thing. Okay, because again I'm going to say React is a mixture of HTML and JavaScript. It's nothing new. Okay, so then there's one more thing. Now we have something new, and it's called JSX. Now JSX stands for JavaScript and XML. So basically the mixture of HTML and CSS. So what you are going to see here is, you are going to see the mixture of HTML and CSS. So everything you see here is coming from this file, app.jsx. This is your entry point. Okay, so here you go. For example, if you were to change this Vite plus React into something else, let's locate it. Where is it written? Vite plus React. Can you see?
Yeah.
Where is it? Inside the which tag? Which tag is Vite plus React written in? It's inside the h1. So let's change it to, let's say, web dev React, and here you go. Okay, so basically all of this is coming from this file. Then we have the main.jsx. I'm going to explain every bit of thing what's written here and why is it written here. It might look a bit weird, but inshallah is going to, all of this is going to make sense in a bit. Then we have git ignore. So that this file is for whenever we push to GitHub. Okay, these files are going to be ignored. Like, these files are not going to be pushed whenever we push our code to GitHub. And you guys do remember how we push code to GitHub, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Then this doesn't concern us. We have this main thing, it's called index.html. Okay, now each and everything of React eventually compiles up, and it compiles into an HTML format. Okay, so I need you to remember this div root, because all of the React is compiled up inside this root folder. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so again, skip this for the moment. Let's talk about this package.json. Now this file is going to contain all the dependencies that's going to tell React that you need these dependencies in order to run. Okay, so all of these are the dependencies, or all of these are the things that is going to tell React that you need these things in order to run. Okay, and readme.md, let's talk about this one. So basically when you push your code into the GitHub, this basically is like a documentation of your project in this file. Again, it doesn't concern us. This one comes with Vite, it doesn't matter. Again, this doesn't concern us, this doesn't concern us, package dash log.json doesn't concern us, ESLint doesn't concern us, and everything else we have discussed about it. Okay, now all of this seem like a gibberish code, okay, and we don't know what's being said here. Okay, so that's why what we are going to do is we need to understand the flow of React, like how is React working. Okay, we need to understand this. So in order to understand this, this is some pre-built templates. What are we going to do with it? We are going to delete it. So I want you to delete each and every file inside this source except main.jsx. Okay, delete everything. And why are we doing it? To understand the flow. You don't have to do it always. Just for the starters, for the beginning, I'm going to delete every file, every folder, so that we can understand the flow of React. So let's say I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to press control in order to select multiple items, and I'm going to click this again. So now I have two selected items. I'm going to delete this one as well, this one as well, this one as well. So in order to select multiple items and folders, you have to press control and then click. Now all four of them are selected. I'm going to click delete key, and it's going to delete all of it. And now we would have an error here, although it's not showing me any error. And where is it going to show me the error? Inside the console. So what is it saying? It's saying index.css is not found, like I cannot find it. Similarly, app.jsx isn't found, and the error is located where? If I were to click on it, it's going to take me, well, it doesn't take me anywhere because the file isn't there. So the error occurs because inside the main.jsx we are calling what? Index.css. And why are we prompted with an error? Why are we prompted with an
There's,
error?
there's no folder of that.
Exactly, because index.css doesn't exist. Similarly, app.jsx doesn't exist. So I need you to do what? I need you to press Ctrl A and remove all of this. Now we have a purely fresh page, so we can understand how React is working. Okay, so what did we do? We deleted every pre-built template, every pre-built file, so that we can understand the flow of React. Okay, so any problem until this point?
No.
Okay, great. Now React is basically a component based library. And what is a component? What does component generally mean? What is a component? Come on, general definition. What is a component? A component is a piece of code that can be reused again and again. Let me give you a real life example. Like this is the website I'm trying to make. Okay. So
There's too many same voices in that room.
sorry, is there a question?
No, sorry.
Okay.
No, no.
So we have this card. Okay, we have this card. And how many times is this card being repeated?
Many.
Yeah, many, exactly. So each card has the same code. Okay, so am I going to code again and again to do the same thing again and again?
No.
Of course not. What are we going to do? We are going to make a component of it, and then we can do what? We can call it again and again. Like write code once and use it anywhere you want. So that's what a component is. Component is a piece of code that can be executed, that can be called whenever you want it. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's start. And React is a component based library. So basically what you do, you make a component, you store it somewhere inside your code, and whenever you need it, you just call it and it'll be present there. And it doesn't matter how many times you call it, you can call it 1,000 times, it's going to work. Okay, so since React is a component based library, each item is stored in a different location. Like each component is going to be stored in a different location. So we would need different components in different locations. So how are we going to call it and how are we going to export it? Using the keywords import and export. So that's how we use different components from different locations into different pages of different components. So let's say the first thing you need to do is, if you want to use React, you are going to import React, you are going to get the React. So what I'm going to say here is, I'm going to say import React, capital R, okay, from React. What is this going to do? This is going to get me React. Why? Because we want to use it, we want to use React from this React library. And if you want to see what's inside this React, you just simply have to click control and click. It's going to get you to the React thing, and this is what React is. Okay, but again, this doesn't concern us. This is what React is, around 4,000 lines of code. Okay, second thing, if we want to show output, show a component on the main screen, we need to render it. And what does rendering mean? What
Like
does
in general?
Yeah, in general, yeah.
I believe.
Like seeing something, like
Transparent
no, seeing something, like rendering.
or seeing?
Yeah,
Okay.
seeing something. Okay, so if you want to show your components, you are going to import another library to show your components. And I'm going to say this one, so you don't have to worry about all of this. This is going to be written by default, just like it was written before. But again, why are we doing it? So we can understand the flow of it. Okay, you don't have to write what we are writing right now, but you need to understand what it's saying. Okay, so in order to see the output, we are going to import another library, another package that's called, and you have to put curly braces here, and I'm going to show you why. It's called create root from react dom slash client. This is the package. Wait, let me disable. Yeah, so you are going to get this. Why are you getting this? Let me put the comment here as well. Create root and why are we using React? Why are we importing React? To use React. Let
So
me.
it's faster?
We are importing React because we are working with React. Yeah, so it can be faster. Like the websites can be faster.
The React client, you're doing the package?
Yeah, it's a package. It's already inside the Node modules.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so why are we doing it? So we can. So we can do what? Why are we importing this? Yeah, render the component. What does rendering mean? Showing it on the screen.
Displaying?
Yeah, just displaying it. Okay, now let us create our first component.
The code?
Displaying, yeah, you can say that, displaying a code. So basically a component is a piece of code. Okay, so what is a component? A piece of code, but it has a proper structure. So in short, now there are a lot of things, no, not a lot of things, around 9 to 10 things you need to remember, okay, about the components, about the general flow of React. So now we are going to create a first component. So what is a component? Component is simply a function. Okay, component is a function. That's what you need to know at the moment. Okay, so how do we write functions? Let's create a first component. How do we write functions? Very good, const and then the function name. Now the first thing you need to know about, you need to remember about the components. Components always and always start with the capital letter. Okay, if you want, although they are functions, but this is the first general rule, first rule of thumb, that is components always start from the capital letter. So let's say I'm gonna name my component to be greetings, but make sure first letter is capital, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, what next? The equal, and then parentheses, and then no, before the curly brackets we where do I put the equal? Here, outside the parentheses. And now perfect. So what is the first thing you need to remember about the components? Yeah, it starts with a capital letter. Now about the second thing. Components always and always and always returns something. Like they have to return something. Okay, this is the second thing. So we're gonna say what? We're gonna say return. Okay, and then what do we want to return? Whatever you want to return. Let's say I'm gonna say salam from React, and let's put emoji as well. And how do we put emojis? Window and dot. If you were to press window and dot, you are going to be seeing all of these emojis. Emojis. Okay, so this is the second thing. Now we have written a component, but it's not going to be shown on the screen. Look, it's still empty. Why is that? Because we need to render the component. Okay, yes, call the component, just call the component, but it's not going to be like we used to call the functions, because this is not just a function, it's a component. Okay, so how do we render it, and which thing have we brought to render the component? Which thing have we brought? There's a special no, which thing have we brought, like have we imported in order to render the components? Yeah, we need to render the greetings component, and which thing have we imported to render the component? Create root. This is used to render the components. So what are we going to say? We're going to say create root. Now it's a function, and where do we want, the first thing is going to take is where do we want to render the component? Do you guys remember that around 5 to 10 minutes ago I've said that all of the JavaScript, all of the React is compiled into HTML and then it's rendered. So where do we want to render it? We want to render it inside the HTML, and inside where? Inside this div. And what is the ID of this div? Root. So the first thing this create root is going to take from you is where do you want to render it, and where do we want to render it? The root. The root is inside HTML. And how do we get the data from HTML? No, not dot. How do we get data from HTML into JavaScript? Very good. We're going to say document dot, and then query selector.
Yeah.
What do we want to select?
Root.
Root. Dot root or hash root?
Hash root.
Hash root. Okay, this is going to get me the root element, and after getting the root div, we want to do what? We want to render. There is this function that is inside this create root. So what do we want to do? Again, this is going to be only done once. We want to render. What do we want to render?
Greetings.
Greetings. Very good. So now the third thing you need to remember about the components. Like functions are called. How are functions called? How do we call the functions?
By its name.
By its name, and then put parentheses there. Yeah. But
Yeah.
components are a bit different. How you call components? You are going to call the components in a form of tag. They are always called in a form of tags. Now what do I want to render? I want to render greetings. So how do I call it? How do I call it?
You have to do functions.
Then are tags. And how do we put tags?
Window plus dot.
No, tags. Like it was our first class, I guess. Do you guys remember the first class? We put angular brackets, and then what do we want to render? Greetings, and it can be opening and closing, or it can be self closing, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
And here you go, this is the flow. And now what are you going to see? Well, here is your first component in React. That's how you show the output in React, although it wouldn't look much at the moment. Okay, but I'll tell you, I'll confirm you, after doing around 5 to 6 years of development, React is the best thing that has happened in the web development field. Although it wouldn't look much at the moment, but again, as you're coding in React, you'll see the importance of it. So that's why I am telling you guys to do, you have to pay a really close and really important importance to this thing, this React. Okay, so I'm not going to do any more things at the moment, although we have around 7 to
Mhm.
8 things you need to remember about the components, but this is it for today. You need
Uh,
to, yeah, is there a question?
यस सर।
Yes.
अच्छा, अब यहाँ से सर अब रिएक्ट ही स्टार्ट करेंगे हम, बाकी HTML CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट अब इसी में होगा सब कुछ।
Yes, everything is going to be inside it, everything. Okay.
और इसके बाद सर और कोई टेक्नोलॉजी है जो रिएक्ट के अलावा हमने आगे जो करनी हो?
Yes, we have Node.js, we have Express.js, we have MongoDB, and it's all in the backend in the database field.
और फ्रंट एंड पे रिएक्ट होगी, बैक एंड पे ये चीजें होगी,
Yes,
ऐसी है
yes,
सर?
and this is
मतलब
the most
रिएक्ट हमने
popular stack.
100% रिएक्ट तो हमने करना है। ओके।
Okay, like you
ओके
you
सर।
have now stepped into the advanced age of the development. Okay,
ऑलराइट,
everything
ऑलराइट।
we have did until now, you can call it the beginner levels, but from this point onwards, this is the most advanced things that has happened in the development field.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh. Okay.
so you have to stay consistent when it comes to React, otherwise trust me, this is not going to get you anywhere unless you stay consistent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are there any questions?
No.
Okay, so
No.
that would be it for today, and this is the homework as well. Just create a component, render it, and see the output.
और सर
Thank
इंस्टॉल
you.
भी करना है इसको?
Yes, you have to install it as well. Yes,
या
that is the main task. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
ऑलराइट
you.
सर,
All
थैंक यू
right.
सो मच।
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. See
Allah
you.
Hafiz.
Allah
Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz.
अल्लाह हाफिज़।
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.